Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to give you a walkthrough of how to start the course and how to go through the first week's module. This is going to be kind of a longer, more detailed one. I will be doing quick overviews as well, kind of more of a run through later. So when you get on your home page, which is now modules, you'll see the announcement. You can just click on that. Usually I'll have the first one or two or the most recent one or two announcements there. This is for the IBEST class where we have two teachers. So if you're in the other class, it's just me. So you will read your announcement. You can always go to all the announcements and have them show there. You can go to discussions and see things. You can go to your home page or modules. Modules view is really good if you've already read your announcements. That gives you a little clearer picture here, brings us higher. So the first thing you'll see is the materials, textbook, workbook, syllabus, and if you click in here, you'll see you can download your book. You don't need to buy a print copy, but you can if you want. Sometimes it takes a little bit to load. We'll just give it a little time, but you can move on actually to the next thing. This is the workbook that you'll be wanting to use for your notes. I do post each individual section with the videos, so you don't need to print it ahead unless you want to do that. We don't use all of it though. And here's the textbook. Again, we're just using excerpts. If you want to download it, you can go up to here and put it in your computer. It is a pretty big file. Just keep in mind, maybe not for a phone. That's for the 107 and the workbook for the 107. So you have two different books. You have the 95 book and the 107 book. And you have two different workbooks, but how I've done it is pieced each section by section for what you need in the Canvas modules. These are just accessible for you to have as needed. Calculators, anything will do. You can use an online app called Desmos, works really great, or you can buy the calculator here. Do not feel like you need to get a graphing calculator, although if you have one already, that'll work great. A scanner, smartphone, those are great. Or some kind of printer or alternate, although you can write things out. I know it's hard, we're not on campus regularly, so you can just write stuff out in a notebook and take a picture. Syllabus. And here's Desmos. Now this opens in a different window, so you're going to want to click the tab to get back to see your Canvas. And here's Desmos. So if you're like, where happened to my Canvas? Go up there and click Next. Okay, so here we're on to the next module that helps you learn about remote learning. I'm going to click the modules page again, the tab, so we see the view, and you can look at all the check marks that you've gotten. If you're in the IBEST class, there was a meeting we had this morning that was optional to attend, but you can click there to watch the video. We just had some, run through of the syllabus and things. And here's student remote learning and some tips. This is optional, so don't feel like you need to go through these. This is where it might be best just to come out of the screen and the next views and see the scope. When you're done with a folder here, just close it, or module. This is review. It's optional, so there's some great videos there. If it's been a while since you had Math 92, or you did not take Math 92 and you did self-guided placement, you might find those additional resources helpful. I do build some review in, but it's, goes really quick. The first week is all Math 92 with a little more depth and messier type problems. So here's our week 1A, getting started. So you must complete this in order to access any other modules. You're going to start here. Some of you, a good amount of you, have already been into this. So you just go ahead and read through all of this. A lot of it's redundant to your syllabus. If you ever do see something that's conflict between syllabus versus video or Canvas, anything but, I guess, due dates probably would be your syllabus supersedes anything that is trumps all the anything written in Canvas or that I said in a video for current grading policies and late policies. The dates, though, are in your Canvas calendar, and those are live dates. So you have an outline, a tentative schedule in your syllabus, but in Canvas, it's the real thing that you need. So you're going to click Next. Course info and setup. Just kind of, gives you an idea of what to expect. Just read through that. You may want to go back to these more later. This is in your syllabus as well, so it kind of helps you out. It may have a little more detail though. And then you can click Mark as Done. Okay, basically, you're going to be working maybe 10 to 15 hours a week. This is a 2-in-1 class, so probably closer to 15, maybe 20 hours a week to get both courses done. You can opt out of 107, but you cannot opt out of the Math 95 work. You have to pass that in order to be eligible for Math 107. So in week 5, we'll make that transition. If you just stay in the Math 95 as a standalone, which is totally fine, that's the traditional path, you'll cycle back through the same topics. It'll be different work, more applications and things like that. You'll have a chance to increase your scores, redo the final and all that. And you'll be put in the Math 95 section in as a standalone and go at a slower pace. The Math 107 coursework you'll continue on with your modules as they appear in Canvas, and that will meet your AA requirement. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions about that, or I can do a Zoom session as well upon request. Canvas support and tutorials. I am finding that one person had a Chromebook issue with the MyOpenMath, that it wasn't connecting correctly or launching. So if you have a Chromebook and it's being fussy, check out this. That'd be really helpful. Also, I can try to work with you, but I might not be able to fix it. Here's your grading breakdown, and this is in your syllabus. You need to have a 70% in 95 by the end of, well, it's kind of an overlap, week 4 or 5, and you will judge, or I will judge, whether you're going to be leveled up to Math and 107. The and symbol means transferable college level class. What you've signed up for currently is Clippers Math, CMath 107. So that means you have the option for the college level math, but I have to level change you once you pass your final and have a passing average of 70% in the Math 95 course. Okay, so you can read through that. And then when I pressed next on that one, it brought up this screen, and it's because for this, especially for this first getting started module, I want you to go in order so you don't miss anything, and I can track whether you've seen it. It just really helps me to see in an online environment that you've gotten all the pieces presented to you. So you go back here, click that, and then just look, oh, I didn't do my tasks. So there's a task up there to do Mark as Done. Sometimes it's Mark as Done, sometimes it's just view, sometimes it's submit. So there's a variety of things. And it will tell you on that screen if you get bumped back. So here's another welcome message. That's just more about contact things. In that video, I do say 2% deductions per day late, but now it's just a 10% weekly deduction for late work. So In the electronic work, MyOpenMath, you need to use a late pass. You get 10 of those. In Canvas, you don't need a pass. I do the deduction manually. For electronic quizzes and tests, I do the deduction manually, and you have a 24-hour grace period for that. And then when the week is up, the assignment, especially if it's a quiz or a test, will just close out. And it's 0 for that. However, if you are having extenuating circumstances and need some more time, you can just meet with me in Zoom. I'll do that a couple of times through the term where we can adjust your schedule. We can waive some things for a week and figure out, get you back on track. Okay, things happen. You might get sick. You might have a loved one sick. So just things are kind of stressful this term. So we have that flexibility if you need it. However, we really want to try to stay on track so you finish the course in time. So here's about the syllabus. I have to mark as done. You'd want to go to that. You can go here, click this link. It'll take you back here where you find your syllabus. Hopefully you've downloaded it. Then you're going to take your syllabus quiz, and I actually have to submit. I usually do really terribly on these because I don't put anything in just so I can get through. You of course would want to do better. You can do it a few times to increase your score. Let me know if you have questions, or maybe you just made a syntax error. I can always override the score. MyOpenMath, this is all about your electronic homework. So you'll want to read through that and then mark as done. Click next. And then this window should pop up. If it says you have to launch the external tool yourself and you have a Chromebook, then try contacting the CTOL. The link was in there back with Canvas resources. So for this, you would just click Start, Enter. For example, this is just to enter different kinds of values and symbols. Submit. Okay, I got it right. Move on. You can always check your answers too. If you jump to the answer before you've been marked correct, then it'll give you a similar problem to try. And then you would want to click up here and move on. It's like, for example, here, I'm like, I just want to see what are they looking at. It prompts you and tells you what to expect. So if I check my answer, it's going to give me some tips there, but then I can't just put anything in the box there anymore. I have to get a similar question, okay? So I'm going to mark done, mark as done. Sometimes for these you just mark as done so that it tracks it. So because you can leave this, you can take a break, which I recommend every half hour or so. You should get up and move around, give your eyes a rest, do something else, and then get back to it. You should probably be working on math like maybe a couple hours a day for 5 days a week, or you can clump it however you want. And then click next. For quizzes and tests though, you do have to do them in one sitting. Usually I have an hour or two for those. There's Desmos. It's really cool. It's up here. There's another link to it. Explains a little more about it. You can put it on your phone. Here's the bio. I'm not going to scroll down for everyone to see everyone, especially if you're in a different class. So just I posted, or I will post a video of how to put in pictures and documents and things like that. I'm going to go back to modules. Every so often I might want to see what I've completed. Maybe I have to go take a break, and this tells me, tracks it. So this one, I'm all done with that module. I want to reference back every so often because that's where my resources are. So if I need anything, just PDF files for easy access, that's there. But there's not really lessons up in there. And then here it says I haven't quite completed that module. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. Oh, actually, I do have to submit something to move on there. So if I just click in the reply box, I'm just going to write hi, and you just post, okay, and then you will be able to move on. And then click next and you come to your practice assignment. There is a document here that you can actually print out and write on and then convert to PDF and submit. If you have a scanner and you have a method that works and it automatically does PDF, that's great. A lot of people like to take pictures with their phone. It's best to have a scanning app though, because then I can search for words and stuff like that. So you actually have to submit something to move on this one. So I'm going to go to here and just put in, I'll put in a random thing. And you can see here the comments box. You can write me questions in there. That's kind of nice. And I get right back to you. They go to my email. They'll know exactly what assignment. So if you don't have a printer, you can actually just write on paper and take a picture. That's totally fine. Here's some frequently asked questions and help tools for you, videos. That's optional. End of current module. I usually put this a beginning and an end to every module so that you know, and you can, instead of clicking next and get drawn into something optional or some module that you kind of losing track and you just want to see where you're at, you can do this. Okay. Oh, I don't know why. Oh, I guess I didn't require that. I gotta fix it. So you make sure you do your discussion. Then you're in the next module, and again we have start of new module. It tells you the weekly outline. That's the same every time. And then here's your first lesson. So you're going to actually need to take notes on the video and read the book. You don't have to submit anything from the book, just read the videos or watch the videos and submit those notes. And then to submit, you click up there, choose a file, add it in. And now if you have questions about the assignment, use the comments box. Don't just write it on your paper and take a picture, because I might not get to it for a few days for grading. Usually try to grade within a week, but sometimes I'm slow at that. Usually if it's a quiz or something, I'll do it right away. Okay. So now here's the electronic homework. And again, for homework, you can start and stop, start and stop. So instead of just saying submit, if you did 3 problems and there's 20, you really need to go back into it. So you don't want to just have a check mark for that. So when you're all done, go ahead and mark it's done. This one's not sequenced, so even if I skip something, it's not going to block me. Like for this quiz, if I don't actually submit it, I can still move on. I really try not to sequence you unless I need to auto-release some solutions, or there's something that really has to go back to back. So let's see. So this, once I start, it's timed. Make sure you do it before 11:59 p.m. within, because if you start it like, even if it's before due, if you started at 1:45 to midnight, you're only going to have basically 14 minutes to do it. Okay, and you can have 1 retake on quizzes. And here's a Dropbox. So you're going to write up all your work as you're doing your quiz, and then you're going to actually submit that to me. Again, if you have questions or if there's something you saw that you were marked wrong and you think you should get partial credit, point it out to me here. If you don't point it out to me, I probably won't notice it. If it's a syntax error, like you have a comma instead of a period or whatever, then, or a decimal, let me know. Okay. Sleeve. And now this is the test for all of chapter 1 and the beginning of chapter 2. So that ends your like Math 92 review. And again, tests you get 1 try, and show me all your work. I'll assess partial credit upon request. That's all in writing. All that I'm saying here is in writing as well. And say you wanted to go back and do your test later, as long as you get it before it's due, you get 1 day grace, and then it's 10% off up to a week late. If it's later than a week, you know, it's a test. It's a big thing for your grades, so you'll want to schedule a makeup with me, and I'll have to kind of unblock it and things like that. We'll have to talk about the extenuating circumstances you may be experiencing, and get you back on track. Here's your first discussion. What is math in society? And all the directions are there, and you're going to do it in the reply box. And then end of current module. And that brings you through till next Monday. I will be posting things generally a week in advance, so probably tomorrow I'll get this second week up there, so you can work a little bit ahead. We don't want to go too far ahead because we have discussions and things, and but you know, a week or so ahead I usually try to have it all posted. And sometimes it's just they're ready to auto release on a date, and you'll start to see things appear. All right, I think that's it. Let me know if you have any questions, if you're not understanding, if you're blocked, why you're blocked from something. I can look at your module progress and try to figure it out. If you have any tech issues, let me know. And anything else, just send me email, usually works best, or actually a Canvas message. You can use the inbox in your Canvas, which is, let me just move this over a little. You can see your inbox right here, and click on that and message me through Canvas. All right, have an awesome day.